In this video, we're going to cover the US broad market, SPY, the tech sector, QQQ, the FTSE, CAC and DAX, Bitcoin, gold, and some updates on some swing trades. Let's start off with QQQ. So we're looking at a futures chart here. So a couple of weeks ago, we were calling for a pullback to this 18,900 level. We hung around there for a couple of days, and then we finally broke that level on Friday last week. When price tested the 200-day moving average, we made a post saying that that was a good buying opportunity. And since then, price has bounced pretty strongly off the 200-day moving average. We've come all the way up to 18,500, and at the moment we have a PPO crossover, which is bullish, RSI around 50, so room to move up. And we're expecting price to continue upwards, possibly up to all-time highs. Looking at the smaller time frame on the hourly chart of the NASDAQ, the QQQ futures, we had really nice divergence on the hourly chart, price making lower lows with the RSI and PPO both making higher lows. That marked the bottom where we made our post saying this was a really good opportunity to go long. So since then, we can see that price has bounced off the 200-day moving average where we made this divergent low, crossing above its weekly moving average and into solid bullish territory. RSI is currently overbought around 63, and PPO has room to move up. So we expect the bullish trend to continue and the daily time frame to take precedent over the smaller time frames. And moving on to SPY, so again looking at the futures chart here. So the broad market didn't have as much of a retracement as the tech sector, only coming down to this 100-day moving average around 5,400. On SPY, not even reaching the 100-day moving average, getting down to the 540, 541 level. So this week, price has bounced pretty strongly, all the way up to just shy of the all-time highs around 5,000. So what's this, 5,670? So price currently sitting around 5,620. We expect this bullish trend to continue. We have PPO about to cross over into bullish territory, and again RSI plenty of room to move up, sitting around this 56 level. So looking at the SPY futures chart, we have this nice divergent low here where price is making a lower low, and we can see the indicators, the RSI making a higher low here, and the PPO also making a higher low over here. So off of these divergent lows, you can see that price has bounced pretty strongly, coming up and testing the weekly moving average, finding resistance there, pulling back, and then price has continued in its bullish trend up just shy of the all-time highs around 5,700. Moving over to the small caps, they also had a pretty severe retracement, coming all the way back to the 100-day moving average. This week, midweek, testing the 200-day moving average and bouncing pretty strongly back up to this former resistance, former support, now resistance around 2,200. Again, we have PPO about to cross over into bullish territory. Moving on to Bitcoin, we can see the price has been consolidating under its 100 and 200-day moving average, with the crossover occurring a couple of weeks ago. We expect this pullback to continue down to around 48,600, where we think that might be a nice opportunity to go long, possibly all the way down to 40,000, 42,000. From a shorter term perspective, we have bullish PPO crossover, and price has come up, and we expect this 100-day and 200-day moving average to act as resistance, which coincides with this resistance level around 64,000, 65,000. Moving on to gold. So we caution traders about a possible pullback around this 2,550 level. The pullback was very minor. 2,500 acted as support, and since then price has continued in a bullish trend, moving upwards, breaking this 2,500 sort of 2,580 level, and we expect price to continue up, making all-time highs. We have PPO crossover, which is pretty bullish. RSI is getting to overbought, but that can continue overbought. Trends can continue overbought, like we can see over here. So we expect this bullish trend to continue in gold. No reason to sell anything at the moment. We'll wait for a divergent high for an exit signal in gold. Looking at the FTSE, so the FTSE hasn't done much most of this year. The FTSE usually trades in a range, and we can see this range dating back all the way to May. It's just been going sideways since then. Nothing much to report on the FTSE. Looking at the French CAC, we had this really nice divergent low where prices bounced out of this low, and we're under the 100 and 200-day moving average, which isn't great. So that should be cautionary to traders. But moving off this divergent low, we've broken this downtrend line. It looks like we're about to get a PPO crossover around here. And RSI is, it's in no man's land at the moment around 50, so room to move up or down. But we expect this bullish trend to continue, especially with the US markets sort of pulling up these European indices. And looking at the DAX, so the DAX usually trades in a range. It usually copies the NASDAQ more than any other market, but at the moment we're trading in this range, dating all the way back to March, just like the FTSE, so not much to report. Looking more on a short-term basis, we're above the 100 and 200-day moving average. PPOs looks like it's about to turn bullish, so we could break to all-time highs in the more near term. And looking at a couple of swing trades, so we posted about Google last week, since around these lows, around 150, saying this was a good buying opportunity. Since then, we're about to get a bullish PPO crossover. RSI is moving off of this oversold territory. Price has crossed above the 100-day moving average. We have resistance around 160 and around 174. We expect traders to start taking profit around this 174 level, or even lower around 170, where this 100-day moving average is, which could act as resistance. And next, mRNA. So Moderna, we've got this really nice divergent low over here. Price, we were posting about this with this divergence around here, but since then price has come a little bit lower, around $68, around to 65, where we've got support, making again another divergent low, with the RSI making a higher low and PPO making a higher low. So we think this might be a nice opportunity all the way back up to this $88 level. Just more broadly speaking, the pharmaceutical sector is looking good at the moment, just as a broad sector. There is some caution we could get a bearish PPO crossover over here, but we think these divergences will take precedence over a PPO crossover over here. We expect the price line to bounce above the indicator line on this PPO. And moving on to Tesla. So we posted about Tesla a few weeks ago. Since then, price has been pretty volatile, but acting this 210 level acting as support. Price now above at 230. RSI around 55, so room to move up. PPO in bullish territory. No signal to sell at the moment. We expect price to continue up to 270, where traders should be taking profit. We think we could get all the way up to all-time highs around 400, but we should be raising stops where we're taking profit along the way. And UPS. So UPS made this nice divergent low. Price has been pretty flat since we had bullish PPO crossover, but price hasn't really gone anywhere since then. It looks like we could get a bearish PPO crossover anytime soon. I wouldn't be holding below previous lows on UPS. Price action isn't looking great. We haven't had much of a move off of this divergent low. We're in a downtrend. We're below the 100 and 200-day moving average. I think this might be one you might want to cut short or give it a little bit of room just down to the previous lows. Okay, ALB. ALB has made a divergent low a few weeks ago when we made a post with the break of this trend line. Since then, price has moved up. We had a retest of this downtrend line where price has again bounced off of this, and we're now sitting above our entry point. So stops should have been below previous lows, so that shouldn't have stopped any traders out. This is just a normal retracement. we expect price to move up to this $100 level where we should be raising stops and taking a small bit of profit with the potential to break above the 100-day, 200-day moving averages and this downtrend line. But this could act as a confluence of resistance around here, which is why we should be booking profit just below these levels around the $100 level and raising stops to around entry. And Amazon has been doing pretty well. We posted about Amazon when it tested the 200-day moving average around this 170 level. Since then, price has bounced pretty strongly back above the 100 and 200-day moving average. We have resistance here around 188, which we need to break above, and then we could be up to all-time highs. We think this is more of a long-term play in Amazon. And another one in the tech sector that's been doing pretty well is Microsoft. So we posted about Microsoft when it was just below its, or when it was around here, around the 200-day moving average again. We thought this would be acting as support. We have, price hanging around this level for quite a while, which was, we thought this was consolidation around here. So price has bounced up to the top of this range where we've got resistance around 432. We expect price to continue above this level. We've been consolidating, so there's no reason now why price can't move up into a more bullish stance. We've got nice bullish PPO crossover, wide separation with RSI room to move up. We expect the RSI to get into overbought territory and that to take us up to this 470 level. Okay, and Pfizer. Pfizer is a long-term play, so we've just been consolidating this range over here. Nothing much to report on Pfizer. Hopefully we can break above this $30 level and start to get a move on soon. But at the moment, just consolidating in time and price. And much of the same story of Intel. This big gap down, and since then we've just been consolidating in this range over here. We've got some divergence developing, but we should caution this divergence. We need the 100 and 200-day moving averages to start catching up, and ideally filling the gap before anything. And MJ has been in this downtrend since the start of May. Prices. It hasn't really been moving much. It's pretty much in this range, which has been in since sort of a year or so. We expect price to break this downtrend line. We've got the 100 and 200-day moving averages, which is pretty much flattened out at the moment. So price is just consolidating in this range at the moment. Hopefully, in a more shorter term basis, hopefully we can break this downtrend line, break these moving averages, and start consolidating more in a bullish stance rather than more of a bearish stance, which we have at the moment.